I think this is fake.
You think it's fake? What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh? You think it's fake? You come like that? Easy. Huh? What do you mean? Fake.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Guys, I was watching some WWE videos the other day. I just happened to stumble on some videos, some WrestleMania videos and whatnot, something like that. And I was just watching some clips, and I remembered when I was a kid and I used to watch WWE, and I used to love it as a child, you know. And as a really young boy, I used to have debates with myself and my brothers, like, is this real? Because even as a kid, you see these big guys fighting in the ring, but the way they're moving and everything looks a bit silly, and you're asking yourself, these are not natural ways people would move if they're actually engaged in a fight. Anyways, we all know that it's not real now. But the point is, I was watching some clips, some wrestling clips, and I was looking at these guys, and I thought to myself, this is ridiculous, man. You know, you see guys jumping around and flinging themselves over the ring and everything, the whole script, especially the newer generation of wrestling. It's not the same quality as the older generation. I think the older ones were better. But at the same time, I have an appreciation for the performance art aspect of it. You know, you have guys who are so talented on the mic, you know, and to be able to captivate a crowd, you know, to the point that wherever you go, people even know what you're going to say before you say it, and the crowd is waiting for you to say certain catchphrases and slogans so they can join in. That is actually a beautiful thing. I don't just mean in entertainment, but in life. It creates this communal kind of thing where people feel part of a movement. You know, I was just watching some of the old guys, you know, the Ric Flairs and Dwayne Johnson back in the day. And I look at them like, man, that's a great talent to be able to engage a people to the point that they know what you're going to say before you say it, and they can't wait to say it with you. They can't even wait to say it for you. You know, that is a great talent and a skill. And that I admire about the WWE, at least some of the characters in there. And I think in general, it's a really difficult job. So while it may look silly, at the same time, it's just like going to a theater and watching a performance, you know? So if you look at it from that perspective, you're able to endure some of the ridiculous stuff that you see, you know? But I just saw some videos and I just thought about it because, excuse me, you have to appreciate the work ethic of some of these guys and how much creativity they put into the characters that they were playing, and how they were able to engage millions to be able to participate in some of the characters that they were playing. I mean, sometimes I imagine myself paying money to go sit in an arena and watch stuff like that, and I thought to myself, there is no chance. But then again, you think about it and you realize that it's just entertainment, and it's stuff to get. It creates a communal sort of thing, just like any sport does. Which is why some people may talk about sports being a distraction. Sports are intended to be a distraction. You know, imagine a world where we were just caught up in the constant loop and cycle of the craziness of the political world and the wars and all the crazy stuff going on. I think that would be a terrible existence, man. So while people talk about sports and entertainment and music just being distractions, well, my friend, you do need some balance in your life. You cannot be 100% turned on and switched on to all the craziness that's going on in the world. You just lose your mind, you know. So you do, to some degree, you do need to have some sort of distractions. And I don't want to say distractions per se, but you need to be able to have some balance in your mind and in your spirit. Otherwise, you're just gonna tip over and implode. And some of you know where I got that implode reference from, but I'm not even going to talk about that. But anyways, my point being that we can appreciate even the so-called mundane things of life, and as long as we don't you know, overdo it, because moderation is key in everything you do in your life. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, sometimes I watch wrestling clips, but I can't watch them for more than 10, 15 minutes because I'm going to start feeling a bit silly, you know, about it. That's just me. But I mean, we all have different hobbies and different things that we like. But I appreciate every sort of art, I guess. So far as it's not demonic and it's not promoting something evil, I think you can appreciate performance arts on different levels, you know. And in summary, I want to give an encouragement. Whatever it is that you're doing in life, you as a person, really look for something in your life where you can be of service and you can create some communal feeling within the around the with the people that you have around you, something like that, because there's love in that and it's good. We have lost this element of community, or we're losing it, and I really hope that we are able to find it again, where we share some things in common. We may not share everything in common, but we can share some joys in common. That's one thing, like I would say, that sports give people. You may have people with 1,000 different opinions on other things in life, but sometimes you can go on a Sunday or a Saturday to go watch a football game. And when I say football, I mean football, not American football. No disrespect. But then you can go watch a game and then share in the passion of the game and support, because you're supporting, let's say, a team from your neighborhood or your city or something like that. And that's a beautiful thing. So I think we need to have things like this to be able to have some common ground in our lives, as opposed to constantly being divided by our different opinions or our political views and whatnot. Let's not get too crazy about everything. That's what I had to say. If you like my content, please like and leave us. I'm not familiar with saying this. I was going to say hit the subscribe button. Yeah, if you like the content. And as always, Jesus Christ is King. God bless. Let me know what you think in the comments.